Everyone, let's get it fired up. Okay, at least we know we're warmed up. TikTok, if you guys can tap the screen, share the stream, tell everyone we're actually going to start this party. We're actually going to get it rolling. Okay, as I said, Bitcoin, you guys already know where this thing's at anyways. 20,500 for Bitcoin, 1,600 for ETH, XRP's at 45 cents. Nothing has moved. Look at the sticks. I showed the sticks. You guys already got to see a look at the charts. It's the same thing I was saying yesterday. New moon, we got our bullish energy. Let me pull it back up once again. Let me make this clear for everyone. Pull up the sticks. There's our charts, okay? 4-hour chart. As you can see, the 25th of October was the new moon, partial solar eclipse. We warned it could bring a fake out, bull trap rally. As you see here, we get fat green sticks coming in here on the 4-hour chart. We peak out at 21,000. We cannot break 21,000, hanging out at 20,500. Bitcoin has no real use case, no utility. We know what's going to happen to it long term. And in the meantime, we are shorting the hell out of Bitcoin, not financial advice. Okay, nothing has changed there. And as I said, we are expecting one more pump potentially coming in over the next couple days before Fed Chair Jerome Powell speaks, FOMC meetings, the first and the second. That's going to be Tuesday and Wednesday of this week. Get ready. Okay, we could get one more pump. He's going to fill up our glass one more time, Jerome Powell. Okay, and as you guys have been seeing, watch this pattern closely. We catch a pump on the day that Jerome speaks. 24, 48 hours, we come back down to reality. The high wears off, and we come back down to reality, and we continue back down to the downside. Okay, now let's get on straight on into this update without further ado. This is massive. As I was saying, Altar of Ego brought us back to a couple quotes that we got to share with you guys. Very, very important quotes here from George Washington. The harder the conflict, the greater the triumph. Incredible amount of chaos, conflict in this world. We are here to persevere. We are here with the strategies and the plan to ride this storm. Another one from George Washington. Truth will ultimately prevail where there is pains to bring it to light. So the whole notion here, darkness to light, the whole fight here that we are in between good versus evil, we are a part. We were chosen to live through this time, to live through this struggle, to bring about that light. Am I here to talk about whether or not Elon's a white hat, dark hat, good guy, bad guy? He wears the New World Order jacket to the gala. I'm not here to talk about that. We're here to get rich. We're here to create generational wealth and be able to take care of our family. We can't control what Elon's doing right now. We can't control what the powers that be, the struggle, the big battle that's underway between good and evil. So much bigger than ourselves, but we continue to step up every single day as we ride out this storm. So I just wanted to set the tone with those two quotes here. Now, Kim.com, folks, it's heating up, and it's heating up very quickly. Popping off. Kim.com. How do the Russians know that the UK blew up the Nord Stream pipelines in partnership with the United States? Because Liz Truss used her iPhone to send a message to Secretary Blinken saying it's done a minute after the pipeline blew up and before anybody else knew. iCloud admin access rocks. I cannot confirm this. This is speculation. Apparently Kim.com is saying that they have caught them all in regards to Liz Truss, and potentially maybe this is why she got out of Dodge rather quickly, only serving about 45 days there in office before she headed on out. Turned it over to the World Economic Forum buddy, Rishi Sunak, however you say his name. We are in the middle of a war right now. As I don't have to repeat that, you guys understand that. But the depths of the battle in cyber war, in space, low Earth orbit, whatever you want to call it, between the satellites, underground, they're talking about unarmed, basically drones, underwater drones being used in Ukraine as well. And then we also talk about a huge operation, a huge cover-up in the cabal country that is Ukraine. I can speak on it only so far, and that's about as far as I'm going to go tonight. But you guys understand that deal, and it's getting exposed, it's getting opened up, and we are continuing to see it ramp up to levels that we don't want to touch. We don't want to go there. I don't talk about World War III. I don't talk about the nuclear war. You guys already know. You guys already seen the mainstream news have everyone run around in fear about nuclear war. As I continue to say, we got to prepare. We got to have our essentials, and we're ready to ride out a storm. Whatever that may be, we can't control whether or not a dirty bomb's about to go off. And we know that both sides are going to blame each other. We know how the script goes. We know how the story goes. And it looks like we're entering a window of opportunity where it's prime for the bombs to be going off, for the attacks to be happening. As you guys are seeing, pipelines, bridges, civilian critical infrastructure has now come into the crosshairs. And that's why this situation gets so dicey. as we've been covering this situation. Now, Peter Zeihan on Twitter says, I know this will sound odd, but we actually have not gotten yet to a serious economic conflict between Russia and the West. The European confiscation of Russian state assets may well be the start of the real war. So we saw when this thing got popping off how the Russian assets were seized. That was the start. And then Russia said, okay, well, that's fine. We're only going to do deals with people that are going to pay us in rubles or pay us in gold. We're only exchanging real value. We're not using US dollar funny money. And oh, by the way, we don't care that you're kicking us off of SWIFT. We don't care that you're kicking us off of an outdated 1970s messaging protocol standard for payments. Don't care. Thank you. It was fun while it lasted. We will move on with real value and distributed ledger technology that means that we don't need to use your technology. We don't need to use your systems anymore. Now, it's interesting to see the commodity war ramping up. We're talking about in this article about the UN deal, the UN broker deal between Russia and Ukraine for grain falling through. Just one of many. And this is going to have huge ramifications as we roll into winter. I hope you're strapped in. I hope you're prepared. And I hope that you're ready to ride this out. Wherever you are tuning in for me, listening to me tonight from, you already know the crisis that's taking place in your region, in your country. The battle is worldwide, good versus evil. No one makes it through this unscathed. Let's continue on. Reformed trader. 3 things to watch in the coming weeks and months. Diesel shortage, 25 days of supply. Prices likely to spike. And we've been talking about this. It's now under 25 days of supply left. Okay. Second, railroad union votes down labor deal needed to avoid nationwide strike. The trains are about to be stalled out, be shutting down because of the railroad unions. Okay, number 3, growing pile of distressed debt signals coming to the United States default wave. A growing pile of distressed debt. That's going to be real estate. That's going to be our biggest corporations, the biggest businesses. You guys are seeing the reports that just came out from the largest, the FANG stocks, how terrible it is out there for them. Now he breaks this down further. Reformed trader. Diesel shortage. Used to power the world not only for semis and trains, but also to heat homes. Factors impacting the shortages, U.S. banning Russian imports, and refining capacity being down due to seasonal work, plus high demand. So that's what we're talking about, the Russia-Ukraine situation, and the fact that this could only be the beginnings of a real commodity war, a real economic war. The deal's beginning to fall through. And you got to be woke. Stay woke, go woke, stay broke, as we continue to say, as the West is experiencing European energy crisis. Now, stabilizing, then rebuilding inventories requires significant slowdown in freight movements and manufacturing activity, which means an economic slowdown, right? So to be able to rebuild inventories, it requires a significant slowdown in freight movements and manufacturing activity, which means an economic slowdown. The rail strike could cripple the U.S. supply chain, and economy could occur as early as November 19th. Okay, so here we go, November of events in time, windows of time to look out for. This could be playing out as soon as November 19th. They have been planning again for a possible strike after the September deal seemed to reduce the threat. The rejection of the National Tentative Agreement begins a status quo period during which the union will re-engage with the NCCC until December 4th. So the negotiations are underway in regards to these unions. Distressed debt. The amount of dollar-denominated bonds and loans trading at levels indicating distress is the largest since September of 2020, reaching $271.3 billion last week after 5 straight weeks of growth. That is 5 straight weeks of growth in regards to dollar-denominated bonds and loans trading at levels not seen since September of 2020, folks. Companies that binged on low-cost borrowing, low-cost debt in recent years are facing the prospect of refinancing at exorbitant yields. The pile of troubled borrowers has been slowly building for months, hinting at an eventual surge of defaults. We are seeing the bankruptcies already underway. The liquidity crisis is wiping out the ones that cannot withstand. Insolvencies will eventually ramp up, starting with a slow trickle. What we're seeing is a lot of behind-the-scenes restructuring talks, lowercase r, to avoid the bankruptcy court processes, Teclin said. Winter is coming. This is just beginning, and this is why I say that the bottom is not in from a fundamental macroeconomic perspective. Cheers to everyone who's ready to ride out this storm and is taking action right now, because we have not reached the bottom. Serious issues underway. Just over the next month, we're about to see further breaks, further cracks within the system, within the infrastructure. Truly unbelievable how quickly this is unfolding. Now, another one for you, another doozy right here. This is not oil, a meme stock, or even a shitcoin. It's credit card debt in America. We take a look at this chart. This thing went absolutely unbelievable. Consumer loans versus the personal savings rate. And see, that red line right there is the personal savings rate in America. Falling to lows that we haven't seen since before the pandemic, 2018. Had to look closely at that chart, a little fuzzy. But we haven't seen levels this low for the personal savings rate and consumer loans, credit cards, and other revolving plans, all commercial banks. You see that chart. You see where that thing's going. It's, oh my gosh, that's unbelievable. As we've been saying, guys, the liquidity debt crisis has to be solved, has to get fixed before we roll over to the new financial system. Now we got another one here we got to cover. Diane Swank shared an incredible thread right here. I highly recommend you guys read this, but because we're limited on time here tonight, I want to do this as fast as possible. I'm not going to read this whole thread, but she's talking about the consumer holding out, the consumer having an urge to spend, to experience good times after we exited the pandemic and the events of 2020. Even though they're still kind of lingering, we want to experience the good times. We wanted to have a good summer. We wanted to be opened up. And Diane Swank really broke it down very well in this thread right here. But I want to just summarize this. She says, bottom line, the consumer is skating on thin ice, and what were once tailwinds are becoming headwinds. The timing of when they slip through the ice is debatable, but it is hard to come up with a scenario that they don't dip a toe into icy waters before inflation can be tamed. Now, I want to go to this next one. This is from Texas Runner DFW, and this is her thoughts on the thread. Brilliant thread. I, too, have been awed by the resilience of the U.S. consumer. It feels like Newton's law at play. A consumer who is consuming will continue to consume until acted upon by some outside force. Several potential outside forces are rapidly closing in. And as I'm saying in this video here tonight, the Fed has to do it to us to fight inflation. It's very simple. The Fed doesn't care about you. Jerome Powell does not care about you. The middle class and poor is collateral damage in reining in inflation. They created the debt bubble. They created the asset bubbles. All of the assets, real estate, stocks, everything went nuts. Cryptocurrency went nuts. The party's over. They have to end it to rein back in inflation. It's very simple. They don't care that your stocks are getting whacked, that your 401k is getting wiped out and you won't be able to retire. They're building the coffin apartments right now for the senior citizens that aren't going to have retirement accounts because their 401ks are going to get decimated. That's an ugly picture. But God, please help us. That is the situation. This is so much more than just holding our cryptos, bro. This is 401ks getting wiped out. Middle class and poor getting sacrificed. The Fed does not care. They have to do it. Fiji, 10 spot. Thank you. Thanks for the update, Zach. A lot of trolls in the chats lately in your past few lives. Don't mind them. They're just insecure and jealous. They cannot stop us. They will never be able to stop us. God willing, we make it through to the other side. So important every single night, and I try to make these videos quick. I know people got short attention spans, but golly, we got so much to cover. So much value here to give every single night. I can't possibly make it in a 15-minute video. I wish I could. Let's continue, guys. As I was saying, though, with the U.S. consumer, we're holding out. We've been fat and happy enjoying our summer. We finally opened back up. We can see our family again and have a good time again. We don't care that we're going into credit card debt. We really think that we won't go through that again. That was short-lived. It was just a nightmare. It's not going to be reality again. It was just a short window of opportunity, a dark moment in time that was a random act. Even though now, the true origins, the true story, getting revealed, isn't it? And we know that it was just a glimpse. We were told 2020 was a test, one of many. And it doesn't, it's exciting. I love it. We get to take advantage of the greatest transfer of wealth in world history, but they're literally building coffin apartments for the slave class that will be 90% of humanity that is not prepared for this crisis that we will be going through, that we are not done with. The bottom is not in. The Fed does not care. I'm about to break this down further. Let's continue on. Oh gosh, here we go. Talk about the pension crisis in America. I wish I had some, and I do got some good news. You guys know I always end the show with some bullish XRP news, but in the meantime, this is gruesome. Adam Taggart, there are many reasons Americans face a pension crisis. Too little money put in. It's poorly managed. Too much is paid out. And in this article, he says, this article by Every Dime Online will get your blood boiling on number 3. I'm not going to share this one, but as an example, they use Illinois. The situation in that state is absolutely unbelievable. And Adam Taggart here continuing on says, public pensions paying as much as $418,000 per year. A school bus driver is earning $242,000 per year. Janitors earning $143,000 per year. Excuse me. He says these are extremes, but not by that much. Illinois has 132,000 public employees and retirees who earned a new minimum wage of $100,000 plus. Those are pensions that are paying them out 6 figures every year. This is emblematic of the larger dilemma America finds itself in. Too much has been promised to too many, far beyond what we can afford. We've been papering over the issue with deficit spending and blowing asset bubbles, but those only delay worsen the reckoning. At some point, perhaps sooner than most, realize promises will have to be broken, either willingly telling the public, sorry, but you're going to get less, or unwillingly via default. And yes, killing the US dollar purchasing power is a type of default. The big question, when? The answer that I'm going to give you tonight is now. Over the next 3 to 6 months, specifically looking for the bottom to be coming in. Specifically looking for the crisis to hit critical mass and them having to admit that. They have to avoid hyperinflation until they're ready to reset rollover. They have to avoid that default until that time. But in the meantime, they are willing to raise interest rates, i.e. killing the debt asset bubbles, killing your real estate, killing your stocks, killing your 401k, that all of the pension funds were rolled into, that all of the pension funds that are getting wiped out right now are still in, because then the money managers haven't changed their program one bit. And it's all happening right now simultaneously, the perfect storm, right? Now, we see this is the worst case scenario in Illinois. But this is a nationwide problem, and it's a global problem. As we continue to cover these other countries breaking first, here in America, some places will have it worse than others because of the way this country was set up and the different states within, and the states' rights and the ability of these states to have their own pension funds, have their own programs and laws. You're seeing some of these states break down faster, and the situation is much worse. Now, another key point here. This is upper middle class folks. They did the right, this is the sad part. A lot of people that did the right thing. They got a good job working for the school. God bless the good teachers that are out there working for the school. They got their pension fund, right? And they're getting paid a nice deal. It's very good. Unfortunately, where they invested the pension funds is the whole damn thing that's breaking right now. And the Fed has to do it to rein back in inflation. We will be well past 10% inflation. We already are by the real numbers, But even by the government's manipulated numbers, we will be approaching 10% inflation if they don't continue to raise these interest rates and continue to tighten up the money supply. The pension crisis in America is something that most people are not even aware of how bad this is. Most people in America here, as I've been saying, still fat and happy, still enjoying the barbecue. Okay, we're rolling on into winter, but our lights are still on. Our power bill isn't that much, okay? But I can tell you right now that a lot of people are worried. Conversations that I'm having within my business, talking to people, seeing how they're feeling, seeing how much money they want to spend on landscape and lawn care services. In my first business, for those of you guys that don't know, my first business, landscape, lawn care, 8 years in business, created it in 2015, okay? And we've been doing that deal for a while. Very successful business, good spot. But I get to have real conversations with people, whether or not, what we're going to do, what our budget is, what the program is, seeing some of these situations firsthand, getting in, this is just one man's story, right? But I am seeing it right now, is that the people are worried, and most of these people don't realize how bad it's going to get. So for me, the way that I'm running my business, the way that I'm investing, I understand that. I understand that the middle class and poor don't understand how much worse it's going to get for them. I understand that the upper middle class, the ones that think that they were smart, that got the degrees, got the well-paying job, and it was going great, it was working out, it's getting tightened up. Some will survive, not all make it. Not all are going to see this greatest transfer of wealth in world history in a positive light. The pension fund is something that many people don't even understand. Now, continuing on, the biggest players in this United States economy are biting the bullet right now. And I would argue that it's based off some of the decisions that they made here. We know it is. U.S. hospitals on track for the worst financial year in decades. This is being reported from Zero Hedge. I'm not going to speak on this too much, but I'm just going to say this. This is the simplified conclusion for you right here. Summary of that article. What happened was they forced all these people to leave. All these nurses had to go, right? And so the main problem that these hospitals are facing right now, the main problem that these hospitals are facing right now is a shortage of workers. It was self-induced. They forced everyone to implement the program. And then they wonder why they have a shortage of workers, why they have to pay contract workers that are more expensive and pay overtime for the workers and the staff that they have. This is being seen across the whole thing. And this is the greatest opportunity for those of you that are tapped in. Those of you who understand. Dan Pena, my mentor, in regards to his QLA methodology, Quantum Leap Advantage is his program. It's the same. He took and implemented Carnegie's program that Carnegie was rolling out through the 1800s. That's how far back these programs and strategies go that I listen to, that I implement, all the way back to Carnegie. He says that the medical industry, that healthcare, is the best business to get into right now. And that and as you guys have seen, it even got better as far as mergers and acquisitions during the last 2 years. The health crisis and how crazy that's been, the mergers and acquisitions are only ramping up. For those of you that are prepared, for those of you that are a contract nurse, you can go rake it in right now. There's tremendous opportunity right now. But in this article, they're specifically talking about how the hospitals having a worst financial year in decades, specifically is what they say here. And this is all the more opportunity for those of you that are ready to jump on the opportunity. The worst financial year in decades for some could be the greatest opportunity for those that are prepared and ready to swoop deals, ready to consolidate and merge together, these industries, which is what the whole program's about, which is what you can do right now. Now is the best time to start a business. The best time. I'm loving this. Continue to raise interest rates, Jerome Powell, because I know my competitors can't operate at the higher interest rates. They can't. They're going bust. Is it my fault that I saw it coming and prepared? as I continue to say, this is the greatest transfer of wealth in world history, but not everyone makes it through to the other side. Even the biggest hospitals on track for their worst financial years in decades. And then we talked about central banks taking record losses. Now, how is this possible that some uneducated doofus moron, no degree, no nothing, is having his best years ever? And I remain humble and I continue to thank God. And I know that challenges are coming my way. I know that we're still within the storm. I never for 1 second sit back, kick up my feet and enjoy the show. I stand up here every night on the edge of my desk here, ready to get it every single day. Because we're not through. We're not through to the other side yet. And we change the trajectory of our lives and the wealth of our families, the generations to come for decades by maximizing how we take care of this opportunity. You may be hearing my young one screaming in the background. That's what this is all about every single night. Bring in as much freaking cash as possible so that we can invest in the suppressed assets and be able to take care of the little one, be able to take care of the family, be able to hand something down, be able to implement and execute on a program that will take us through to the other side. That's what this show is about. We're not having our worst financial year ever. No, we're not even having a down year. How the hell is that possible? We're tapped in. We did our research. We're busting our ass. And we will not quit. The only way we stop is if they take us out. God be with us. God bless you all. Cheers, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. Sunday night session. Took me a few minutes to turn on the mic. But once we got started, as you can see, we're going to have a little bit of fun tonight on the Sunday night session. We are drinking a little bit of wine, so you guys are experiencing Wino Zach. Second glass. Beautiful Syrah. I'm going to have some purple lips by the end of this show. That's all right. You guys already know the deal. Let's continue on. BASF, the world's largest chemical factory, appears to be leaving its main plant in Germany. Outsourcing to China is being considered. 39,000 employees in Germany are expected to face unemployment. Massive, massive layoffs underway, not only in the tech sector, not only Elon laying off Twitter, but in these industries right here that we are going to need. And this is energy, the largest chemical factory right here. And the industries in Europe that are having to force the shutdown because of that energy crisis is unbelievable. Now, let's move it on over to XRP Huey sharing this article with us. And this is the main point of this whole show here. An article from CNN. The Fed may have to blow up the economy to get inflation under control. Finally, the mainstream news taps into what we've been saying for a while now, right? Is that the Fed does not care. They will be sacrificing the middle class and poor. The Fed has to. It's the only way to rein back in inflation. And they don't want hyperinflation yet. Some inflation is good for them. And let me explain this. Inflation is good for the Federal Reserve and the United States government because it allows us to pay back our debt and to pay our unfunded liabilities with cheaper dollars. We can't even cover our liabilities, which is why we're running a deficit every single quarter, every single year. You guys are seeing the massive deficit that the United States government continues to run. Record deficits. See, it's interesting. The largest companies, the worst financial year in decades. Our own government, worst deficit in decades. That's the program we want to avoid, right? But this is what we're up against right here. They want some inflation, because it allows them to print the money and to be able to pay back this debt with cheaper dollars. You, if you own assets, get to take advantage of that as well. Unfortunately, for those that own the assets like real estate, stocks, cryptocurrency, and bonds, what you are seeing is that they are having to raise interest rates to rein back in the economy, to kill the asset bubbles that they created, to rein back in inflation. Because you have riots on the streets if you get hyperinflation. You have riots in the streets if you don't have a plan to smooth over this rollover to the new financial system. So in my belief, my take right here is that the middle class and poor is going to be the collateral damage, and even you're going to see some of the more well-off people that were having a good time, had a high-paying job, will get caught up as well. There's going to be a serious recession that we're going to go through here for another 3 to 6 months at least, right? We have not seen the worst. We have not seen the bottom. But this allows our government to pay off the debt and the liabilities with cheaper dollars. That's why some inflation is good for them. But hyperinflation will lead to riots in the streets. So it's a balancing act. Now, it is being reported here that they're going to continue to raise interest rates. It looks like here, once again, that this week we're going to have another 75 basis point rate hike. Now, this take right here from Danny Devin on Twitter is exactly where I'm at with the cryptocurrency space too. The crypto bull market isn't coming back because Bitcoin breaks 20,000, 25K, or 30K. And when some guy draws a bunch of bullish lines on his chart, the bull market will only be back when the Federal Reserve stops taking money out to turn and stops taking money out or turns their printers back on. And he predicts 2024. Now, we can only go with what the Fed is telling us, and that's the tough part, is we can only take the Fed at their word. But Goldman Sachs is now predicting that they're going to be raising interest rates all the way into next year. 25 basis points at the rate hikes in early beginning of 2023. Another 75 basis points coming up, 50 basis points at the next one, and then 25 basis points for the next 2 meetings is what they predict. Right here. This is from Bill McBride. He's the one that found this for me. Goldman, we are adding another 25 basis point hike to our own forecast, which now calls for hikes of 75 basis points in November. That's coming up this week, Tuesday, Wednesday. 50 basis points in December, and 25 basis points in February, and 25 basis points in March. And now see the funds rate peaking at 4.75 to 5% for the federal fund rate. Okay, that means that our mortgage rates are going to be approaching 10%. That's death for the real estate market. Now, it's the greatest opportunity for those that are prepared, those that got cash on the sidelines, those millennials that have been waiting to buy your first home. Eventually, the prices will have to come down to reflect the market dynamics, i.e. interest rates, mortgage rates being at 10%. Currently, we're on average at about 7% for the 30-year mortgage rate here in the United States. This thing is breaking, and it's going to continue to break. And we predict, in my opinion, the next 3 to 6 months, we see a crash panic moment, and we see the bottom achieved, the bottom reached. And then we start to see the pivot, and then we see a restructuring, revaluation moment. But nonetheless, I am prepared to ride out chaos and a storm until 2024. Now, moving on into crypto, let's look at the timelines. Let's look at the events as they continue to break down in the cryptocurrency space. As we continue to reiterate, the greatest opportunity in all of the investments that we could potentially be making right now, in my opinion, still is crypto, other than your own business. I will say that. Other than your own business, cryptocurrency continues to be the asset class that I would be looking to invest in the most. Okay, let's continue on. Frank Chow, Senate wants the SEC to explain why staff are quitting. So this is from Yahoo, reporting that the Senate Republicans want the SEC to explain why the staff are quitting. And the situation here right now is you're seeing Democrats, Republicans, both agreeing that Gary Gensler has gone too far and that the SEC needs to be reined in. Continuing on, Jeremy Hogan tapping in why, adding why it is so critical that we have so many amicus briefs being filed in the Ripple versus SEC lawsuit right now. Why is it important that numerous amicus briefs have been filed in the Ripple versus SEC case? An amicus brief is called a friend of the court, and historically, ABs have been filed only in appellate and top-level courts where difficult issues are being resolved. As far as I know, the record for number of ABs is 78. Those were filed in an abortion case in the 80s that made its way up to the United States Supreme Court. That being said, is it normal to see numerous amicus briefs in a trial level case? Definitely not. The judge's liberal allowance of amicus briefs in this trial level case would seem to suggest that she understands that the issues involved are complicated, novel, and that the ruling will affect a large group of people and or industry. And I think that's a good thing. Absolutely. And what's important here, folks, is that this is going to infect the payment infrastructure, the whole damn financial system for decades to come. You got to realize, you got to comprehend how big this is. This is not just us getting rich and a little pump to $10 after the SEC lawsuit's done. No, this is trillions of dollars coming into the space, getting settled daily, quadrillions settled up per year, times that by 10, that gives you the next decade, times it by the next 5 decades. What we're looking at is the new financial system for the next 50 to 100 years. Quantum financial system is what we call it because eventually the networks get settled on quantum computers. Don't you get it? This isn't a joke. The QFS is not a joke. It's not a game or conspiracy theory. This is real deal, baby. Put it on nodes, put it in nuclear bunkers, all on quantum computers. Instant settlement simultaneously. Put the chip in your brain and think about sending someone some tokens. And it's done. That's where this goes. It's not science fiction. And here we are, buying our little bags, taking advantage. God bless you all. So massive what's happening underway and the breakthroughs in the Ripple vs. SEC lawsuit right now. Let's continue on. XLS 20 tomorrow. This is from JV the Great, sharing a picture of the non-fungible tokens. That is the XLS 20 update, NFT update for the XRP ledger. We have met the threshold, 28 of 35 votes. We have 32 yays, 3 nays, 91% consensus. And as you guys understand, Byzantine consensus protocol is what we're running on here with the XRP ledger. 80% of the validators have to confirm it to upgrade the ledger to confirm the transactions. 80% validation consensus has been reached, has been locked in for 2 weeks. NFT update tomorrow. Absolutely massive, because whether you want to put your pudgy penguins on the XRP ledger or you want to put real estate, you want to put any sort of smart contract you could think of on the XRP ledger, we are here. We are going live. Massive amounts of utility for the retail. For me and you, Joe Blow, building a little bit of utility on the XRP ledger. If I had to pick any distributed ledger to be building my project, building my business around, it would most definitely, I wouldn't even consider anything besides the XRP ledger right now. And as you guys are seeing, this update is going to be so critical for getting a massive, massive amount of utility on the XRP ledger and just an incredible amount of XRP locked up. That's what people don't get. There's not 100 billion XRP to use for cross-border payments, for settlement on any one network, when everyone's finger effing the calculations, trying to figure out how rich we're going to get. There's not 100 billion XRP. There's not 50 billion XRP. There's potentially tens of billions of XRP max to settle up on any one given network, to settle up on these payment flows. Hundreds of millions and billions is going to be locked up within these utilities. NFTs, all coming. Tomorrow is the day, finally. What an absolute joke Ethereum NFTs and smart contracts and the whole Ethereum network has been. But specifically, as you guys know, little perk of being in my Discord group is a couple months ago, we got the group some free NFTs in collaboration with my friends Crypto Keeper and Blockchain Crusader. They were doing an NFT drop. They said, hey, Zach, we want to hook you up. We want you to, share this with your community. I said, okay, we got to get some free NFTs for the group. They hooked it up. Okay, free NFT mint. We all had to pay $50 plus in gas fees just to get the free NFTs that we were gifted. And it took 15 minutes for my Ethereum transaction to go through. Absolute joke. And I had to buy Ethereum for a second time so that I could get my NFTs minted. Like, what the hell am I doing? I'm here on MetaMask just playing around, and it's an absolute joke. What are we doing? We're done playing around. NFT update for the XRP ledger tomorrow, and it's going to be absolutely massive. I see John Ferguson. I see Whiskey Johnny in the chat. He says, get your medals right now with the fire emojis. Johnny, you already know what's up, man. The silver breakout that we're about to see is going to be absolutely massive. We're starting to see the hints. We're starting to see the sneak preview. $11 over spot, $10 over spot. Going to be massive. Let's continue on. Couple more to go. How big is this going to get? Well, let's take a look here. Arthur Brito. The XRP ledger needs to be able to scale to serve 7.5 billion people and even more devices. This is so much bigger than bringing on the unbanked. This is tapping in every single system, everything of value, everything running on distributed ledger technology and tapped into the internet of things. And yes, this is from Arthur Brito. Arthur Brito, one of the original creators of the XRP ledger. The man that we never see, always in the shadows. You can only find like one picture of this guy on the whole internet. How is that possible? Just another part of this XRP story that makes it that much more fascinating. But what the hell does he say about XRP? The XRP ledger needs to be able to scale to serve 7.5 billion people and even more devices. This tells you that back in 2012, when the XRP ledger was created, they were getting this party rolling. They had the whole internet of value in mind. They had the whole world in mind. This was never meant to be some small operation. There's a reason why he's in hiding, I believe. He's nowhere to be mentioned in the XRP Ripple versus SEC lawsuit, just like Jed McCaleb. And he's even less seen than Jed McCaleb. How is that possible? Jed, the little Fed boy, the little Lucis Trust guy. How is that possible to be more hidden than Jed McCaleb? He only comes on the primetime networks like once a year. This is going to be absolutely massive. People cannot even comprehend. Thomas Conservative 10 spot. ETH is a joke. XRP will be used for everything. XRP is on the table. And just like SBI Holdings CEO says, Yoshitaka Kitao, every bank in Japan will be using XRP by 2025. And that's what Tony Valentino says as well, early XRP insider, is that everyone's going to be using XRP on the back end. The regular retail transaction, your PayPal transaction, whatever, Elon's going to implement payments into Twitter. You might not be using XRP in your retail transaction when you have your wallet integrated to your Twitter, and you can send me a super chat on Twitter, right? But XRP is meant to be used on the back end of everything, everyone. So true, so true. People can't even comprehend how big this is going to be. Now, a couple more interesting dates, interesting things to look out for. Here we go. We're excited to have Rosie Rios as our closing keynote speaker as chair of America 250, the nation's semi-quincentennial celebration of its founding. She'll discuss this important historical event and share how educators can get involved. This is Rosie Rios speaking right here. The final closing keynote speaker at this event. This is going to be taking place on December 2nd through the 4th. We will definitely be looking out for that one. Now, continuing on. Anders. Swift is now confirming March 20th, 2023 will be definitive ISO 222 start of migration. I see a little super chat there from Crafty Irina. That's a 1999. Appreciate you, Irina. Thank you so much. Swift says, at the same time, it is clear from our community feedback that there is strong momentum across the industry to implement and gain value from ISO 222 rich data. So the revised start date of the 20th of March 2023 will be definitive. Financial institutions are therefore encouraged to continue preparation for the 20th of March start date and consider all potential scenarios in their planning to ensure readiness for the start of the ISO 222 coexistence from that date. If I see another ISO video of this or that date, I think I'm going to lose it, folks. Let's be very clear. This is the only thing you need to understand. I'm going to post this clip later. Let's simplify the ISO 222 situation for everyone that's trying to get rich off of ISO coins. ISO is being stalled out for swift rollover implementation until March. Okay, That's sad. We're not going to get rich till next year. Please don't be that stupid. Please go back and check when we were reporting this summer that back in August, SWIFT member banks had the opportunity to opt in to ISO 222 standard messaging back in August. They could opt in. So this is just another distraction, another lie, another way to misinform the public, to keep them distracted. And here we are in the community debating what date we're going to go live. Okay, the haters say we're not going to get rich till next year. Okay, we don't care because we're patient, right? But everyone's coming out with the new date, the new story around ISO. Guys, stop it, please. SWIFT already opted in this year. SWIFT member banks in August. Okay, we know that and we understand that. This is so much further than that, though. Bank of England, one of the biggest central banks in the world, piloted and worked with Ripple back in 2018. So what the hell are we talking about? Trying to figure out when ISO goes live. That's all a freaking distraction. When the largest central banks in the world already ran the trials, already ran the proof of concepts, already partnered with Ripple, specifically piloting XRP in the Ripple network back in 2018. And we're trying to figure out and play around with the ISO dates right now. What are we doing? Stay focused. How big is your freaking bag is all that matters. And if we, by the grace of God, get another 3 to 6 months here to stack these utility cryptos, these ISO coins, thank you, God. We take advantage. But holy smokes, folks. Now I know why it's happening. Everyone wants views. Everyone wants to get clicks. Everyone knows the ISO's the hot topic. Everyone knows the ISO coins. It's very easy. Hey, Zach, what should I invest in? The standard answer would be ISO coins. Our strategies go so much further than that. So much further than that. And what we found with the ISO coins is that ISO's been hyped. ISO's been a way to misdirect the people that are tapped in and understand that the new financial system's going to be rolling out with only a few major utility cryptocurrencies running it. They already ran the test 5 years ago, and we're debating what the rollout date is. Guys, by 2025, it's done. By everything that we've seen, by all white papers, by all agendas, by everything, by election cycles, by demographic cycles, by 90-year bottom of the market cycles, all of our analysis tells us to just be freaking patient and ask yourself, how do I get my bag bigger? How do I take advantage of another 3 to 6 months before they roll over? Oh, they wait another year. Oh, the SEC lawsuit goes another year. How big can you get your bag? I know how big I've grown my bag during this time, during the last year, where I was at with my little peasant bag. And I know where it's at now. Thank you, God. Massive 10 spot from Whiskey Johnny. Expect the inflation to double when the cash floods home. Prepare food, cash, silver, XRP. You already know, Johnny. We are so ready to take advantage of this opportunity, guys. Thank you so much for being tuned in. If you guys haven't already, please smash that thumbs up for me. And what do you guys say tonight? I don't have something cold, but I do have something smooth. We are drinking a little bit of Syrah. God bless you all. A little adult beverage. We are here, and it is 7:30 Pacific Standard Time. We've been doing it now for nearly an hour. I got another 17 minutes or so for a rapid fire Q&A session. And I appreciate everyone so much in this community for helping me spread this message, helping other people prepare, your family, your friends. You got to share this content. Don't be selfish. Share this content, okay? Appreciate all of you guys very much. What are we working with tonight? TikTok, YouTube. God bless you. Cheers. DEX, 10 spot, the Ethereum EVM, Ethereum sidechain. Oh boy, it's going to be massive, DEX, because we bring all of Ethereum, the ERC20 tokens, on to real utility, real settlement in 3 to 5 seconds with no gas fees. Everything on Ethereum can now be settled on that XRP ledger because, for those of you who don't know, DEX is reminding us about the Ethereum sidechain that Ripple created for the XRP ledger. They made the XRP ledger compatible with the Ethereum virtual machine, which brings every single ERC20 token into the XRP ledger. You can settle on the XRP ledger and actually get your transaction done in a reasonable amount of time at nearly no cost. That's kind of nice compared to the 15, 20 minutes or longer for your Ethereum transaction to go through with, $50 gas fees or more. So let's run through this. Ripple Swell Conference next month. Let's start out the month, right, with XRP NFT update happening. So massive. So awesome. The Pudgy Penguins will be coming on, but then everything else, every other smart contract you can think of is going to be coming to this ledger. So we get the NFT update for the XRP ledger. We get Ripple creating the Ethereum sidechain for the XRP ledger. We also see other multi-chain solutions coming to the XRP ledger so that you can basically, whatever crappy, not as good network you're settling on, you can bring into the XRP ledger, and it brings you that interoperability. So critical. And then we get Ripple Swell Conference on the 16th and the 17th. We're expecting a major announcement to be happening there. Major announcement, massive speakers, massive keynote speakers. I'm interested to see who's in attendance. I wish I could make it over there, London, UK. I wish that, Ripple gave your boy an invite, because it'd be fun to see who's in that crowd. I'd love to be, having a glass of wine with some of the folks sitting at those tables. Going to be truly fascinating to cover that event. But let's break this down, guys. Okay, so this week, we have the Fed FOMC meeting taking place on the 1st and the 2nd. That's Tuesday and Wednesday. Fed Chair Jerome Powell is going to be speaking on Wednesday, 2:30 Eastern Standard Time. That's 11:30 Pacific Standard Time. We listen to Fed Chair Jerome Powell speak. We are expecting, as we've seen recently, for the markets to get a little Fed pump, a little FOMC pump. Jerome Powell speaking, markets going up before that, and then within 24 hours, we roll over to the downside. So what am I doing right now? I already told you, I'm in a Bitcoin short. It's down 30%. That's why nothing here is financial advice. I'm not giving trades. I'm not giving signals. I'm down 30% on my trade. Don't care. Right now, I've lined up more money on the sidelines so that if we do break through 21K, we want to even approach 22K, 23K. I don't care. I will be buying in another, a better entry on my Bitcoin short, because I know it's going to be short-lived. We are going to have it this week. One final run, one final pump around the Federal Reserve meeting. Then we come back down to reality. Then we come back down to the downside. Oh, and by the way, we're rolling in to a full moon lunar eclipse on the midterm elections of the United States. Mr. Lucky, thank you for the 2-spot super chat. Liquidity Hub announcement at Swell. It's going to be massive announcements at Swell. But think about that. You know how these evil entities operate, those that worship the evil, that worship the moon, that do the dance, that do the rituals, that do the sacrifice. Not me. Please, God, keep me away from these people and these demons. They're sick people. But those that do that deal, that do that dance, I don't think that they're just going to be having dinner around the table that night. You know what I'm saying? Now, not to say that an event's going to absolutely be playing out on that date, but what an incredible window of opportunity. Full moon, lunar eclipse, midterm elections. Elon, the Musk, takes over Twitter before our elections. TikTok, you guys can see at the bottom of the screen, learn more about US midterm elections. In every single live that I've done over the last week, TikTok is giving us the midterm elections. And to TikTok, to YouTube, I say, all we talk about on this channel is having a nice, free, and fair election on within America. That's all we talk about, right? But you will see a little disclaimer, But we just find it fascinating. We do get a little bit of entertainment. What an amazing series of events. Elon, the Musk, taking over Twitter 1 week, about a week and a half before a U.S. midterm election that's going to be so critical. So critical. Such a massive change that's about to happen. A sweep that's about to occur. I see we get Throttle Merchant with a massive 20 spot, and Throttle Merchant God bless you. I know that you just joined our Discord family. Throttle, appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you. And the kind words. And like I said, the fact that you came into our community and the first thing you said is, hey, teach me and then let me be of service to others. That's what this is about, brother. Massive super chat tonight. Thank you, Throttle. Appreciate you. What else are we working with, guys? Let me take some questions. I always say rapid fire, even though I can't do rapid fire. I always try to explain my answers, explain my, give you guys some context to where I'm at. But what are we working with? TikTok, YouTube. Thank you for tuning in. We got a little glass of wine. Actually, I need to take a sip of water. Let's get you on with Mel Carmine. Matt, yeah, I mean, we could probably set something up because I'm willing to have a conversation with anyone. You guys know me. I stand here every day just trying to bring the truth to the American people and to the people worldwide that are tapped in. I'm fighting the fight here in America within the Pacific Northwest. But we have people across this whole world, and that's what I'm here for, all truth being revealed. And as we started out this show, right? Truth will ultimately prevail where there is pains to bring it to light. Some people don't like our truth. Some people don't like our program. Some people are jealous that the program works out so well. Is 80,000 XRP enough? Interesting question. Is 80,000 XRP enough? Zach, the Sologenic DEX doesn't have any tax info about how you would go about paying tax on massive gains. Usually, most of these exchanges allow you to pay to print out, to be able to pull the documents. You should be able to pull your tax documents from all of it. Pull it and print it out, give it to your accountant, and continue focusing on making money. God bless you all tonight. Thank you so much. You guys are so fun in the chat. Moon in November or March. We have a good window of opportunity here for over the next 3-6 months to bottom out. But who knows? The Fed could pivot sooner. Man plans, God laughs, and the Fed's going to lie to us. That's what we can count on. Man plans, God laughs, and the Fed lies. Johnny, always with the integrity, Zach. When is your real estate deep dive, my man? XRP to the moon. Johnny, let's well, here's the thing is I'm trying to do regular real estate updates for YouTube. But as you know, and as you've helped us run over there in the Discord group, we love to do the real estate deep dives within the Discord group as well. And we share real strategies, real investments that we've made with inside the community. And I love it because I get to learn, right? I'm the new guy that's just now getting into real estate. But let's plan on real estate update coming this week for YouTube and real estate deep dive coming within the next month for our Discord group. Yeah, we got it. We got to touch base, and we got to talk about some deals. We got to talk about some real shit that's hitting the real estate market right now, and a lot of people are in denial. Another point though that I've seen is it's only the new speculators, the noob speculators that have been participating, haven't been building real infrastructure, building a real business. They've been flipping, speculating, and it's been fun times. They're getting wrecked. But those that have prepared for this storm are riding it out just fine in real estate. So yeah, real estate update coming for YouTube. Make sure you guys hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of our content. Real estate deep dive coming for YouTube. But then in the Discord group, let's have another sit down session, Johnny, where we can go over some deals and stuff. Go over our specific program. Dex, we need to put that one on a shirt. Man plans, God laughs, and the Fed is lying to us. By the way, we got a new run up, but we got a new line of merch that is about to drop. So make sure you guys are tapped in. Make sure you guys are ready for that. New merch is about to drop. It's going to be dope. JJ 5 Spot, thank you JJ for another super chat. I appreciate you. Found XRP in the movie Sneakers 1992 at the 45-minute 13-second mark. Also, there will be no vote from the people that matters. Deep State says hi. Uh-oh, JJ talking about some false flag events that are on the horizon, that are on the way, that we got a window of opportunity for. God be with us, God protect us, and we pray for peace. Golly, what are they doing over there? The cabal scrambling to cover up the deep state activities that have been taking place over there in that cabal country that is Ukraine. And yeah, we saw XRP in that movie, right? And we've seen so much. You know, finally, I made it through. Well, it was actually in the first season, I think, of Blacklist, the show Blacklist on Netflix. I think I'm in the third or fourth season now. I'm loving that show. We're just eating it up, me and Bay. I made it to the part where they talk about using the rippled network, right? And so there's just been so many little glimpses, so many little sneak previews in the movies about XRP and Ripple, hasn't there? Specifically in that show Blacklist, yeah, there's this segment where they talk about they're taking money and they're putting it through the rippled network. They're putting it through the Ripple network, something like that. I love that. That show is real life. You know what I'm talking about? They specifically call them the cabal in that group that they're working against, right? And you got the black hats, you got the white hats. That show is it. I love it. It's so fun. Basically, that's what me and Bay have been doing every night before bed. We watch one show of the Blacklist. I don't watch BS. I don't watch any of the nonsense, but that show, and what I like to watch is shit like that that's real. I like to watch some good documentaries. There's very few that come out. Most of them are woke bullshit documentaries, but I like to watch the documentaries that are, some of them are pretty interesting. And then what was I going to say? Oh, some of the science fiction I like. Some of the science fiction is kind of cool because you get to see how they want to build out the future. I see we just got a new Patreon member. Dana just joined us. 589 spot. The $5 spot on Patreon is a great way to support us. And then if you're looking to get into the Discord group, you're going to have to join the higher tier. And it is an investment in yourself. You get to come in, join our community of other like-minded individuals who are killing it in the game. And then you get to directly communicate with me. Join us for every Saturday for our weekly Discord live calls. And then as I alluded to earlier, we do deep dives on all of these different asset classes, on prepping, on security, on storage, business development program that I'm working on as well right now. Huge shout out. We got Raise 3RP XRP. Raise, I appreciate the 10 spot. Thank you. Kale Halen, 2 spot. Thank you. Flip of the switch versus slow rise of the Phoenix. I believe in a flip of the switch moment and then preceded by a slow rise from there. A steady rise from there. I don't know if you want to call it slow, but I do believe in a flip of the switch moment. And then from that moment there, we just can continually rise up from there as utility increases and as the supply continues to get burned. Full video, thank you for the 10 spot super chat. I know you mentioned investing in real estate with your gains. Where are you going to store the rest? On the XRP ledger or store on a stable coin? Not planning on storing it on a stable coin, although I will say this. It's all going to be about lending, leveraging, and collateralizing my XRP reserve currency. That's what it's about. Is taking loans against it to buy more real estate, taking loans against it to fund a new business, to buy existing businesses. And it's going to be about passive income through staking, lending, DeFi. 90% of my XRP bag I'm keeping forever. Okay. And then in the meantime, I build a real team for real estate. I don't just go into real estate like a one-man shop that I'm just going to play around and have 2 rentals, 2 duplexes. That's fine and dandy, right? But for me, I come from a business entrepreneur. I come in with build a team and execute a strategy that's going to bring in real money. Not a side hustle type business, like a real operation that's bigger than myself. That's where I come from. That's what I'm doing right now. Did it in the landscape business over the last 8 years. Now I do it in my media business. And then continuing to go forward here, the reason why I continue to be a student of business, entrepreneurship, and how to be a capitalist that is going to change the world is because I plan on coming into generational wealth and building generational wealth. And then I got to do something with my time. I'm not going to just sit on the beach. That's not my plan. That's not my program. And I got children. I got a family. So that changes the whole discussion when you got to make sure that you can send your child to an effective school. You can maybe even homeschool, private school tutoring, mentoring, get them to be able to intern with people that are just killing it. You know, I want to be able to do things to not only take care of myself. I'm not here to just sit on the beach and have a Mai Tai. I'm here to send my daughter to wherever she needs to go to live the most successful life, be the best version of herself. I want my daughter's accomplishments to dwarf mine. That's what I want. I want her accomplishments to make mine look cute. Good job, Daddy. You did a good job. That's what I want, right? And of the other children that I'm planning on having someday too. That's the whole reason why to have those little ones. Get them out there to do something bigger than yourself. Absolute blessing. What else are we working with, guys? Let me know. Dexplorer. We got super chats coming in. Dana just stepped up. She edited her pledge to 45. Dana, I appreciate you. Yeah, so the 5 spot is just a way to support the channel. 5 spot per month. Appreciate that. But then she just updated. Dana just hopped in the Discord group. Yeah, it is $45 per month. I understand it's an investment, but I guarantee you that we are going to make it worth your while. I never get people that say there's not enough value. The only people that I usually get that leave either come upon some unfortunate circumstances and or they can't figure out the Discord, they can't figure out the Patreon, they can't figure out or don't have the time to invest in themselves in their research and education. But I promise you, we bring it within that Discord group. If you're looking to make that investment, yes, $45 a month. I understand it's a way to support the channel and it's an investment that you're going to make in yourself that will pay back handsomely. I promise you we're going to make that worth your while. As I continue to say, I'm one of the only folks here with a following that is this big. We now have an audience and a community that is over 350,000 people between all of our platforms. And not once have I sold out and done a paid promotion of any sorts. I have my affiliates linked on down below. Please take advantage if you so please. I appreciate you. But not once has someone cut me a check to spew their bullshit. Or even if it's a real deal. Sometimes I regret it. And sometimes I think about, oh, you know, it'd be nice, you know, $5,000 for a post. There's a lot of money that was thrown around during the bull run to pay to play. And there still is plenty of money to be a pull round. Not once. With God being my witness, not once have I taken those checks. Because I look to run real businesses and bring real value. And I know that the real ones are going to support me. And I know that the real ones want to join our family. Want to help change the world. Hey, Zach, teach me and then let me be of service to others. That's what's so powerful about what we're doing right here. It's bigger than myself, right? We've created a whole family, a whole community. Over 350,000 strong. We're just getting started. I feel like I've accomplished nothing. Thank you guys so much. And by the way, all we ask, smash that thumbs up for us, hit that notification bell so you don't miss our content, and share this message with your family, friends. Share it far and wide so that those around you can understand and get tapped in as well. But that's why I appreciate your guys' support so much. Because I don't take pay-to-play checks. I run real businesses and we bring real value to our community. And you guys are so gracious with all of your support. Thank you so much. Let's take a few more questions. Thank you so much. Nick Barker, one of our recent subscribers on TikTok. Subscribers on TikTok is the new feature. You get a fancy little sticker right there. That sticker from Nick Barker. And then you get the XRP tag next to yourself there. If you guys are looking to be a subscriber on TikTok, you guys can do that. Another way to support the channel. We got 8 subscribers so far on TikTok. Thank you guys. Okay, rapid fire Q&A. Let's focus up and let's get this done. Yes, see, Nick, you get... I made the pool post, the pool castle picture with the XRP at top. That's one of the stickers that you get on TikTok as well. And I got more stickers coming on the way too. I got the team helping me out so that we can bring more fun stickers and emojis from whatever on the TikTok subscribers deal. But YouTube, what are we working with? Is the Discord group good for people in the UK? Bobby, thank you so much for asking. The group is great for people worldwide. We have people worldwide. We have members in the UK. We have Europe. We got people in Asia right now. People all over the world have tapped into our Discord group, and the same programs and strategies that we're working with right here in the United States, where I'm from, work in your country as well. And the best part is some of these programs actually work better in some of these other countries. As long as you have a rule of law, as long as you can enforce a contract, you can be killing it in business. You can be killing it with these investments and with these tax wealth preserving strategies as well. Absolutely. In fact, I get more excited for some of you guys across the pond, some of you guys in other regions. So much opportunity. So much opportunity over there. You missed the questions from Jamie and Corey about the dark horse. What were they, Jamie? Let me know. What were they? Bring dark horse on? Who's dark horse? That sounds scary. Sounds scary. How do you think that the midterms will play into the markets? Thanks and God bless. Connor. It's going to be volatile. The VIX, the volatility index chart, you can pull a fractal from 2008 in the volatility and the crash that occurred in 2008, and you can match that fractal up nearly identical with the 2022, the current VIX chart, which tells us that we're about to get a bunch of chaos, we're about to get a bunch of volatility, and all the macro fundamental analysis tells us that we go down to the downside. We predicted new moon, October 25th, we could experience a little bit of bullish energy. Once again, FOMC meeting coming up this week. When Fed Chair Jerome Powell speaks, the market has already started a run up, usually the morning before, and then within 24 to 48 hours, it rolls over and continues to the downside. That is what we expect to play out here shortly. People need to wake up, look at all the tens of millions of dollars in XRP advertising going on. Ripple is plastered all over New York City, Wall Street, and also in London's Canary Wharf railway station. Philippine Cowboy, it's as clear as day to me. You go read the Q3 market report. You go look at how much they're spending on advertising, on marketing. You go look at spending $100 million on a Ripple versus SEC lawsuit. And then people still ask me, is now a good time to buy? I'm like, guys, please go look at the market report that says they bought $2.5 billion worth of cash spent on XRP in Q3. And people ask me, is it a good time to buy? Don't ask me. Watch Ripple. Watch Ripple. Follow their money, follow their XRP. They lock up $2.1 billion into the escrow, another 55-month time lock escrow. $2.1 billion in Q3 gets locked up again. They can't touch it for 55 months. That's years away. Why would they be doing that if they don't believe in XRP? If XRP is not the heartbeat of Ripple, if it has no future, if they're going to lose the lawsuit, why wouldn't they dump XRP today? They get $1 billion released to them each month, $3 billion on the quarter. Why didn't they dump it all if XRP is going nowhere? If we're wrong, Ripple would have dumped it all. They would be taking the money and running. They wouldn't be hiring all this staff. They wouldn't be spending all this on advertising, $100 million on the lawyers, bringing in the biggest and best killers when it comes to settling legal battles in court. Bringing in former SEC officials. Mary Jo White, Andrew Serezny, the directors of enforcement at the SEC. Hey, can you represent us? Thank you. Yes, we can cut that check. It would be a pleasure. Oh, and by the way, we spent $2.5 billion cash in Q3 buying XRP so that we could turn around and sell $2.8 billion worth to our on-demand liquidity partners. Sorry, Joe Blow Schmo on the street peasant. I'm sorry, but this wasn't meant for you. We're not giving it to exchanges. Don't you freaking get it? Is now a good time to buy, Zach? And I was telling my Discord group yesterday, in regards to that question, is now a good time to invest? Now is a good time to get educated. Now is a good time to have conviction. I got a comment I was reading. I read all the comments mostly, and a lot of crazy ones, but I appreciate all the love that you guys give me. And I appreciate all the feedback too. You guys know, I won't get offended. You guys can let me know. But someone says, Zach has the most conviction. And for me, that is the power of not being on any of the BS, not being on any of the hype, like finding the next thing that I can talk about that's going to bring in new clicks, new views. It's about being true, right? Being straight to the truth. Let me break this down for you. Let me explain how I'm preparing. And yes, it took 10 years of research to get to this point where we can be sometimes months ahead, weeks ahead, obviously, and then on some of our predictions, we've been years ahead. But to finally be validated and to be able to put this and lay this all out for you guys on a nightly basis. I surprise myself every single night because I'm like, okay, what am I going to talk about tonight? You know, let me pull up my bookmarks. What have I shared here on Twitter? Or, you know, what am I going to be talking about tonight? And then by the time I get done, I just got a massive 45-hour-long minute show here where we're just breaking down all this for you guys every single night. It's an absolute pleasure. Now, I see we got a couple here. Tua Patua, $2.99 Australian. Appreciate that. Tua Patua. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly. Appreciate that super chat. This shakeout wasn't the real shakeout. I couldn't agree more. Zach, I like you a lot better when you don't talk about Trump. That's like used toilet paper. Well, we have to talk about the full spectrum here. We can't just hide from the truth. We can't just run away. Oh, this makes us uncomfortable. Oh, we don't like the big bad orange man. Oh, we don't like Trump. Zach, please, just don't talk about Trump. He's part of the greatest transfer of wealth in world history. How can I not talk about Trump? He reduced the taxes. He reduced the regulations. And you sat with your thumb up your ass and didn't do shit. God, I wasn't supposed to say that. But that's the truth. Like my mentor Dan Pena says, our grandchildren are going to be asking us, Grandpappy, what the hell did you do during the greatest transfer of wealth in world history? You were scared to talk about Trump? Are you kidding me? I'm saying too much wine. I can't say that. I'm going to get in trouble. I wasn't supposed to go that far. What else are we working with? Better than Biden. What the hell has he done for you? Golly. At least Trump did make me kind of, I feel like we had a chance as an American. I was like, okay, we're not, absolutely burning it down. We got a chance. But this is the point that I'm making. No matter what your opinion is on Trump, what happened to your business? What happened to your income? How has your program worked out? You can only blame Trump so much. I would argue that he shouldn't be affecting your life at all. But then you look at what he actually did. He reduced the taxes and the regulations. What does that mean? Run a freaking business. Or work for a business that is taking advantage of that. Get your freaking paper up. And people spend their time getting offended about Trump. Making a stupid comment about Trump. Michael, 5-spot. Thank you, brother. Thank you for your insight. Tell it like it is. The truth, Michael. We're always going to bring it. I can't help myself. And sometimes when I have a little bit too much truth serum, we get in trouble. CKJ's cellmate, $5.89. I set a goal for XRP just to reach it and set another goal. It's been like that for nearly 5 years. Nothing is guaranteed, but in my opinion, XRP damn near is. CKJ Cellmate, we've seen too much. Thank you for the support. We've seen too much. And they have to, they eventually get caught because what they're doing is so massive. You know, eventually it slips up here. Okay, there's a patent that includes technology that, from a Ripple partner. There's trials and proof of concepts that have been happening with Ripple and XRP since 2018 with the biggest central banks in the world. We already have central banks. I mean, I just go on and on every single night, right? But you see too much. And for me, it just doesn't compare to the other assets. It doesn't compare to the other opportunities. Even within the cryptocurrency space, I can't put together anything like the story that we have here with XRP with these other cryptocurrencies. There's no comparison. Fiji, 5 spots. Some people just can't handle having adult conversations. And that's where it is, man. I'm not here to say that Trump is the second coming of Christ. Some people say that. That's not where I'm at. My point is, I started my business under Obama. I changed my life under Obama. I ran my business through the last few years here through Trump. And then as we go through the worst economic crisis, as we're reporting the biggest record central bank losses, the biggest corporations folding, having to lay off people, our business is doing the best ever. Our business is not participating in the recession. Our business is hiring more people. That's not because I like or dislike Trump. That's because I focus on what can I actually do to change my life, change the trajectory of where my family is going, what I'm going to be able to give to my family. Fully video, 10 spot super chat. What exchange are you shorting Bitcoin on? What is your price target for educational purposes? Of course. Here's the deal. I'm shorting on KuCoin. KuCoin is not to be trusted, just like any of these other exchanges. I have my links on down below if you guys want to get set up on those exchanges, but I am using KuCoin, okay? I don't trust KuCoin. I don't trust Tether, but I am using it to short Bitcoin. Right now, my trade right now is down 30%. That's fine. I can ride it out. I have the stomach to withstand that, and I'm not going to get faked out. I understand where we go. My record right now was 7 for 8 on my Bitcoin shorts over the last 3 months with an 80% gain in my trading bag. 7 out of 8. I don't make 50% per trade, okay? I make 10 to 20% per trade usually. That's where I'm at. As far as price target, as soon as I come into 10 to 20% profit, I take my money and run because I don't trust Tether. I don't trust these exchanges, and I don't trust the market maker magicians that are manipulating this thing. So I don't get greedy right now. We're in a bear market. So think about that. I've grown my trading bag 80% over the last 3 months. And that bag was XDC, IOTA, Algorand, and maybe a couple other cryptocurrencies that made up a small percentage of my portfolio that had already been smacked 70%. And I said, okay, I'm going to take the loss for tax purposes. But then I started trading and now I got 80% gains, which that's the problem when you make money, you got to pay your taxes. But we grew that bag. That bag would just be sitting idle. It would be further in the red had I still been holding IOTA, Algorand, some of those other smaller bags I had, XDC included. But I took the loss for tax purposes and then I moved it on over here and I started trading. And by the grace of God, our program has been working out. 7 for 8 on the Bitcoin shorts, 80% profit over the last 3 months. Another key takeaway, guys, that's not day trading. That's not sitting here at my desk looking at charts all day. I could never do that. That is not me. I got to get out of the office every single day. I can barely be in here for a couple hours at a time. That is not me. I definitely not looking at charts. But 8 trades. That's just catching swings. That's just scalping these bigger moves, right? These moves over a short period of time. Sometimes I have to hold my trade for a week and I'm down 30% like I am right now. Not sweating it at all. Because I'm only using 5x leverage. That's another key point. Not using 50x leverage. 5x. And I'm not recommending this for anyone. Let me be clear. I'm not recommending this. But just because you asked that question, fully video, and I appreciate the 10 spot super chat. Qcoin, my price targets, as soon as I'm in 10 to 20% profit, which I think would bring me down. My average entry right now is 19,700. So as soon as I get down to 19,000 again, we're good. As soon as we break 19,000. And I still think that we get new lows set for Bitcoin, lower than 17,600, the lows that we hit back in June. But I'm not going to hold this trade until then. So I hope that is easy enough for you guys to understand. If you guys are looking to get help, as always, we can help you in the Discord group. We got team members, we got people that'll help you guys, show you how to use these wallets, how to use these exchanges, how to trade if you want to. I don't send out signals. I don't give financial advice. No. But the program's worked out for the last 3 months. What if China releases another bioweapon? Is it going to delay the moon date of XRP? I mean, that's where we're at, right? There's events on the potential here that could play out that just shake up the whole board, that shake up the whole timeline, right? We just continue to pray that it doesn't get to that level. No dirty bombs, no chemical attacks. We want peace. We want peace to be achieved. But it looks like the powers that be are fighting as they continue to get exposed and lose control, and they're willing to do some dirty stuff. Pipelines, bridges, you name it. Innocent lives. Doesn't seem to bother them. That's unfortunate. As far as the timeline, when eventually this thing is over, we've positioned ourselves accordingly. So we don't worry about, is it tomorrow? Is it next week? Is it 3 months? When does ISO go live? When does the SEC case roll over? Whenever the hell it all settles up, when all the dust is settled, you'll get to decide, do you want to be on the beach or do you want to continue building businesses and change the world with me? Maybe you can be on the beach, but still manage your foundation, still manage and change the world. I don't know. I don't know. But when this is all said and done, we've invested accordingly. And the more chaos, the more destruction, the more opportunity that we get. It's a sad fact of the situation, of the greatest transfer of wealth in world history. As I continue to say, not everyone makes it to the other side, not everyone wins. You're going to get a participation trophy, but you might also die. Financially and literally. That's a sad situation. But that's reality. But for those of us that are prepared, the chaos, the destruction, the higher interest rates, even a dirty bomb, it all feeds into us being able to take advantage of that opportunity. That's out of our control. So should I sit back and say, oh, it's not right for me to take advantage of the fear in the marketplace right now? No. I got a family to feed. I'm going to do something good with my wealth that I'm going to create. So that's why I'm not going to sit back. Okay, you can't make it through? You need to hand over the keys to your business? Here's my price. Take it or leave it. You know? It's up to us to take advantage of this opportunity. And as we transition from darkness to light, as good overtakes the evil, as we roll out the quantum financial system, it's up to us to do good with our wealth. It's up to us to create businesses, opportunities, be a positive capitalist. I think that it's our duty to take action, not to sit back and say, oh, wow, this is terrible. This is terrible. I'm just gonna sit in my corner here. And as long as I have my preparations made, as long as I can feed my wife and my 2 kids for a few months, I'm fine. If that's all it needs to be for you, that's all it needs to be for you. For me, I want to do bigger. I want to take care of my family, friends, community, church. Humanity needs to be saved. We have imminent crisis and we face evil. So someone has to step up and confront that. Some people aren't even tapped into the level to understand the evil that we're up against. That's fine. We try to help and bring them along. But for me, as a leader, I want to step up and confront, not sit back. It's not about passive income on the beach, Mai Tais. Another Mai Tai, please. That's not what it's about for me. No, I wouldn't be satisfied. Thank you for joining me tonight, guys. Thank you so much. Let's take a few more questions. I got a couple more sips here of the Syrah. What a pleasure. What a pleasure. Thank you so much. When do I think the economy is going to explode? The economy is crashing as we speak, and it's going to continue to get worse over the three to 6 months ahead. And I think that the bottom is achieved. I think that a panic crash is in store. I think that the liquidity debt crisis has not reached its climax. 3 to 6 months. 777 still in the chat tonight with us on the Sunday night session. XRP Lion in the house? Come on, man. Molly Docker Syrah, XRP Lion. God bless you, brother. God bless you. May God be with us as we bring you guys another fantastic update tonight. Current events, cryptocurrency, and the greatest transfer of wealth in world history. It's an absolute blessing. If you haven't already, make sure that you follow me on TikTok. If you're on YouTube, hit that notification bell so that you don't miss any further content. And if you haven't already, you got to hit that subscribe button too. And also, at our website, we have all of our links in the description of all my videos. You can find the website and all of my affiliates if you want to support the channel. Thank you so much, guys. Can we get a Rocket Man outro, Nick Barker? It is about time to wind down this session, isn't it? Getting a little late, isn't it? We went for an hour and 36 minutes. We went a little longer than we expected to, didn't we? That's a Sunday night session for you. That's how we do it. We got dressed up. We got to show up. We got to perform for the people. First 3 minutes of the episode, didn't even have the mic turned on. I'm so sorry, guys. Oh, man. Oh, that's so awesome. Zach, we are winners. Time is coming soon. Absolutely. Forget Newsmatic, just stack bullion. Great point, guys. So if you guys are looking to roll over your 401k retirement accounts, you guys can do so at my website. I recently just partnered up with a company that will help you roll over your 401k retirement accounts to precious metals. Very, very important right now, okay? Not only do we see potential gains in the precious metal space, but we also see a way to preserve your wealth, a hedge against inflation. So while everything is getting decimated in regards to your 401ks, the stocks that you've invested in, the bonds having their worst year ever, the 60-40 portfolio that your managers from Wall Street Shillers program sold you on, complete failure. So if you are looking to roll over your 401k retirement account to precious metals, head on over to my website, zachrector.com, and at the very top, there's a link, Precious Metals. Get in touch with my partner. They will help you roll over your retirement account to precious metals. They will also deliver the precious metals to your house if you so wish as well. So if you want a little stash for at home, if you want to roll over the 401k to a bigger account, I know some of you guys rolling with serious retirement accounts, 401ks, and that's a beautiful thing, but we got to make sure that we preserve that wealth, preserve that retirement account so that it'll actually uphold some value during this crisis as we continue to get hammered with the stocks, cryptocurrency, and the bonds. Precious metals, we haven't seen gains, but it's also held up very well. And you guys are seeing what's happening behind the scenes. The best time ever to hold precious metals potentially, because the breakout that we're about to see is absolutely massive. You look at the technical analysis, it's massive. And then you start to see a glimpse of the future. $11 over spot is what some of these companies are paying for your silver. So the spot price of silver is less than $20 right now. They're paying about $30 for your silver eagles, right? That tells you what's about to happen to silver. We see that Ripple is buying back XRP, using it to fund on-demand liquidity sales for their institutional partners. So they're buying back and selling XRP. So we have buybacks of XRP already underway. We have buybacks of silver already underway. $11 over spot specifically for silver ounce eagles. I wanted to make this point. It's very important. People have talked about the Fed buyback of XRP. Is the Federal Reserve going to buy back our XRP? Is it going to be at $100? Is it going to be at $10,000? Is it going to be at $37,000? Is it going to be at $50,000 plus per XRP? Folks, please understand right now, there are buybacks of XRP already underway. They are being done by Ripple. They are going to over-the-counter markets, the OTC desks, where they can buy XRP, tens of millions of dollars worth, and actually, tens of millions of XRP, and it's actually going to be $2.5 billion worth of XRP was bought in Q3 alone. Now think about this. $321 million on XRP in Q4 of 2021, $1 billion in Q1 of 2022, $1.7 billion, $17 billion worth of XRP was bought in Q2. And then we just got the Q3 markets report where $2.5 billion worth of XRP was bought by Ripple. And then they turn around and sell $2.8 billion worth of XRP to their on-demand liquidity partners. That's a buyback of XRP right now. You know, everyone's debating whether or not we're going to have the Fed buying back our XRP. Ripple's not giving the exchanges XRP. They're not giving us XRP. There is no more XRP coming to us. Unless any of these institutions that are getting XRP from Ripple for on-demand liquidity decided for some reason to turn around and sell it to exchanges, to give it to exchanges where we could potentially buy it. There's no reason for them to do that. If they're buying it for on-demand liquidity, that means they want to keep it as a reserve for treasury flows and to use for cross-border payments and settlement flows like that. Most companies don't have $1 billion to do anything with. They don't have $1 billion in the bank account. They don't have $321 million in the bank account, which is what Ripple spent in Q4 of 2021. And I remember at the time, Q4 market report, guys, this is absolutely massive. Ripple bought $300 million worth of XRP off the secondary markets. Oh my gosh, our time is running out. This is awesome. Here we are, 1 year later. Q3 2022, $2.5 freaking billion spent on XRP. Not 300 million. Oh, and then we report that 100 million was spent on our lawyers. What an amazing opportunity that we have here, guys. Thank you so much. I do need to wrap up this session. But I do want to say this. I couldn't be doing this without you guys' support, this calling that I have come into here by the grace of God. I didn't understand how big this was going to be last year when I started doing this, making content. I got kicked off of Twitter. I said, what the heck? Let me start making TikToks. Immediately go viral. The rest of the story's history. 350,000 followers and subscribers within the community so far. We've been able to keep hundreds of members within our Discord community, our family, through a bear market recession when the times are tough. People continue to show support, continue to invest in themselves. And we continue to grow a community that is not only going to take advantage of the greatest transfer of wealth in world history, but we are going to change humanity. We are going to be that positive impact. And that's what I'm so excited for. That's why I believe in this so much. And that's why it's so easy to come to you tonight on a Sunday night session and go for an hour and 43 minutes with ease. Take questions all night long. Show up continuously day after day. Because I now view this not as a job, not as a way to just, we need to make a little bit of YouTube money. You know, hey, support my Patreon. We want to save lives. We want to save businesses. And I want you guys to be able to hand something down to the generations to come, to your children, to your grandchildren. I want you guys to be able to save your retirement account. If you're at the end of your life, you're at the end of your cycle of life, and you've worked so hard, you've done the right thing. I want you to be able to save your 401k. So that's why we talk about roll it on over to precious metals if you want. Hit up my partners, they'll help you do so. But we talk about precious metals being one of the suppressed assets. We talk about XRP, XDC, XLM, Algorand, and a few other cryptocurrencies that get a little bit interesting. We talk about how to invest in real estate in a way that's going to provide cash flow for you, your family, forever. Tax-free wealth, generational wealth. We talk about the NFT updates, the utility that's coming to the XRP ledger, and how we are going to be able to take advantage of that because we hold the underlying asset that runs this whole damn thing. Your little bag of XRP, somebody else wants that. Somebody else is going to need that. And that somebody else is not a Joe Blow like me. It's an institutional investor. It's an institutional company. It's one of the largest remittance platforms in a region that is ramping up on-demand liquidity to record levels while the United States continues to keep us in a stalled-out, staged SEC lawsuit. The rest of the world's moving ahead. The rest of the central banks having to come up with their CBDC solutions. Liquidity debt crisis hitting to a point that they have to continue quantitative easing. They have to continue to pivot, which means that our assets continue to go up in price. The more they print, the more our assets go up. The more they print, the more they inject into the system, the more value, the more digits that roll over into the suppressed assets once they flip us over to the new system. Damn near everything they do benefits us. The only thing that we struggle with is our patience. We want it to moon today. We want it to moon tomorrow. I've never felt more right about XRP. I've never felt more right about XRP. I've never felt more right about the business that I'm prepared to build in the real estate asset class. I've never felt more right about the service business that I've created in the landscape industry. I've never felt right more about the independent media company that I've built that takes no deals, no money from anybody. No checks are cut here to promote anything besides truth. And those of you that are so kind to support us, I appreciate you guys the most. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap up this session. God bless you all. As always, another massive week coming ahead. Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, 6:30 Pacific Standard Time is going to be our set schedule. But that doesn't mean that I'm not going to be coming to you guys live as I came through last night, as we're going to come through for some impromptu prop-up sessions. Be ready. Hit that notification bell. If you can on the way out, make sure you've already smashed that thumbs up if you appreciate the content and message. And all we ask is that you please share this message far and wide. It's been an absolute pleasure once again. I will see you guys tomorrow. We'll drop some content. And then the next live stream will for sure be coming to you on Tuesday, 6:30 PST. Thank you so much. And by the way, our Discord weekly calls are every Saturday at 8:30 Pacific Standard Time. I love everyone in this community that continues to take action, continues to take advantage of the greatest transfer of wealth in world history. We are so close. Our time is coming. And it's only a blessing that we get this thing stalled out and more opportunity to acquire these suppressed assets. I will see you guys in the next one. I'm done. I'm out of here. God bless you all. Thank you.